Every single day, the average married Indian man spends about 4 minutes on kitchen duties, mostly opening the fridge to look for a snack. The average married Indian woman spends 3.5 hours. As female workforce participation has grown, those 3.5 hours haven't shrunk. They just got added on top of an 8-hour workday, creating an unpaid double shift. When countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and South Korea saw their female workforces expand in the 90s and 2000s, they absorbed the shock by entirely rethinking how people eat. South Korea leaned heavily into banchan, dozens of side dishes prepped once for the whole week. Bangkok relies on an army of 400,000 street vendors, and Singapore systematically moved its vendors into purpose-built, government-subsidized hawker centers. These governments and cultures looked at the economics of two working parents and made a deliberate choice. Eating out or utilizing pre-cooked food should be the default, and nobody should feel guilty about not cooking from scratch. India took a different route. The expectation of Ghar ka khana remained rigid. Meals must be hot, fresh, and almost exclusively made by a woman. This chart shows household microwave penetration around the world. In the US, it's over 90%. In China, it's 70%. In India, it hovers between 5 and 8%. The appliance that makes meal prep and reheating effortless carries a severe moral stain. Family networks and social media feeds are flooded with claims that utilizing a fridge or a microwave is lazy, that reheated food has zero nutrition, or that it somehow produces toxins. Millions of women are losing thousands of hours of their lives to uphold this standard. We need to look at the physical chemistry of leftover food to see if these health fears are based in biology or if they are just a massive scientific misunderstanding. When cooked food sits in a refrigerator at 4 degrees Celsius, specific physical changes happen. Let's look at a container of leftover rice. Cooking rice gelatinizes its starches, making them swell up to be soft and fluffy. Cooling it in the fridge reverses this. Through a process called starch retrogradation, those chains recrystallize into tight, ordered structures. This creates RS3, or resistant starch. Your small intestine actually cannot digest it. It bypasses digestion entirely and moves to the large intestine, where gut bacteria ferment it. The result is that a bowl of leftover rice produces a noticeably lower blood sugar spike than a fresh, hot bowl. The same physical reorganization happens to proteins. When you cool a pot of dal or some chicken, the denatured proteins find each other and form new, tighter hydrogen bonds, causing the dal to thicken or the chicken to feel rubbery. Reheating loosens the texture, though it won't undo all the toughening. Regardless, 100% of the amino acid chains survive the refrigerator intact. Refrigeration reorganizes the physical structure of food without destroying its macronutrient value, sometimes making the result actively and noticeably healthier. There is exactly one valid critique of leftovers: lipid oxidation. Over a few days, fats slowly break down, creating a mildly stale aroma. But Indian curries and dals have a built-in biological defense mechanism. Spices like turmeric, cloves, and cinnamon are loaded with potent antioxidants like curcumin and eugenol. These compounds actively hunt down and neutralize the free radicals that cause lipid oxidation. Thermodynamics actually works in your favor here. As a heavy curry sits overnight, fat-soluble flavor compounds evenly migrate through the liquid, dissolving into the oil phase to create a smoother, deeper flavor profile by the next day. If we drop the temperature down to -18 Celsius, we run into the final major fallacy: the idea that fresh market vegetables are inherently superior to frozen ones. The fresh broccoli in an open-air market has been losing vitamin C to natural enzymatic decay since the moment it was harvested 3 or 4 days ago. Commercial frozen vegetables, on the other hand, are blanched and rapid frozen within hours of harvest, locking those nutrients in place. This incredibly fast industrial speed creates tiny micro-ice crystals that slip perfectly between the plant cells without puncturing their walls, which is how they avoid the mushy texture of a slow home freeze. The freezer effectively functions as a molecular pause button, suspending enzymatic decay to keep nutrients more stable than vegetables sitting on a market shelf. The great irony is that the premium restaurant meals people revere are almost entirely the product of intense meal prep and reheating. Professional kitchens run on the French concept of mise en place. They do not cook an 8-hour dal makhani from scratch when you order it. A chef simply assembles pre-cooked base gravies and portioned proteins in 5 minutes. By adopting this thermal science, you can treat your home kitchen like a professional prep station. Start by freezing ginger garlic paste into ice cubes. This halts enzymatic oxidation completely and preserves the flavor and antimicrobial properties of the garlic for months. Cook large batches of onion-tomato gravies and freeze them in thin, flat bags. This cheats the slower freezing speed of home appliances by maximizing surface area, which keeps the ice crystals small and protects the texture. You can freeze portions of oil and whole spices in a tray to make tadka bombs. Spice compounds are fat-soluble, meaning their rich flavors survive sub-zero temperatures flawlessly. Running your kitchen like an industrial system allows you to bypass hours of daily labor without sacrificing a single fraction of nutrition or flavor. The average Indian woman spends the equivalent of 53 full days of the year standing at a stove. Reject the judgment of influencers and family who label this as laziness. Reclaiming that time through meal prep is a strategy for self-preservation. Moving past the ideology of karkakana provides a scientifically proven path to personal liberation.